Attention Oak Park residents. Your patience and cooperation have been instrumental in helping us pull together to make it through the last 3 weeks following the Great Flood of 2014. I have received numerous communications from our residents commending city staff, other residents, and our volunteers. I have also received a large amount of feedback regarding ways we can improve our operations. Your feedback is extremely important to me, and I appreciate your taking the time to provide input. I wanted to take this opportunity to provide the latest updates regarding flood recovery in Oak Park. First, FEMA visited Oak Park last week and analyzed the damage to private residences. They will be back in town this week to analyze the damage to public property. They have until September 10th to make a determination that there is sufficient damage to warrant a federal declaration. If a federal declaration is determined, we will make sure to inform the public, especially if assistance is authorized. In the meantime, and if you have not done so already, please complete a claim form, which can be found on the city's website or picked up in the city clerk's office. You can return the claim forms to the city clerk's office by email at flood@ci.oak-park.mi.us or by fax at 248-691-7171. You can also drop it off in person at the city manager's office. Submitting the claim form does not mean that assistance will automatically be provided. Our collection of claim forms, however, is critical to our demonstrating to state and federal government agencies that Oak Park residents need assistance. The city has worked with the state of Michigan to make sure that all the claim forms we have received to date are being entered into the state's database. Please keep in mind that all claim forms must be submitted to the City of Oak Park within 45 days of the flood event. Also wanted to let you know that for additional assistance regarding flood recovery, you can contact 211 on your phone. They will direct you to additional resources. Regarding trash removal, quite frankly, the statistics are staggering. SACRA has received over 4,000 tons, that's 8 million pounds of trash from Oak Park since the flood. That is the second most of all 12 SACRA communities, with the exception of Royal Oak at over 6,400 tons. Keep in mind the city's normal weekly tonnage is 214. Oak Park has delivered 18.8 normal weeks' worth of trash in the past 3 weeks alone. That amounts to roughly 6.3 times the amount of trash normally collected. We estimate that Oak Park's Department of Public Works employees have delivered over 335 tons to SACRA in the past 2 weeks. We rented a garbage truck and utilized our front-end loader and dump trucks as well. Our trucks, by the way, have driven over 4,000 miles during this period with this collection and dumping effort. Residents should feel free to use the large dumpsters placed in front of the ice arena on Oak Park Boulevard from now through next week. The city will also, as I've continued to say, will also not be ticketing for curbside trash through next week. Permit fees. Because of the record flooding on August 11th, many property owners are facing additional hardships. They're facing these hardships replacing their hot water heaters or furnaces or basement walls. In an effort to relieve some of this hardship, our City Council has decided to waive the permit fees for homestead property owners only. That is, owner-occupied units only. The waiver will be retroactive from August 11th until November 1st. Rodents. We have received several comments from residents concerning the presence of rodents. Rodents, as we know, are attracted to the large amounts of curbside trash. For some, it was reminiscent of the issues that we worked so hard to eradicate in 2012. Please be assured that the city will repeat efforts to clean up Oak Park and rid our neighborhoods again of the pest problem by all means necessary. And I wanted to provide the following 7 recommendations to help do that. First, please remember to properly store and cover your garbage. Use trash cans with tight-fitting lids. And remember, plastic bags are not rodent-proof. Second, do not leave excess pet food sitting out. Clean dog kennels and pens regularly as well. Remove dog waste daily. This is the #1 way that rodents survive. Third, make sure bird feeders are at least 4 feet off the ground and that the ground underneath remains clean. We're told that some rodents can jump up to 3 feet in the air. Fourth, get rid of the junk and large rubbish items around your house. Fifth, cut weeds and grass regularly. Sixth, ensure that firewood is stored on racks at least 18 inches from the ground. And last, if you find these uninvited guests on your property, hire an exterminator if possible, or follow the instructions on poisons and traps sold in most major chain stores. If you still have questions regarding rodent control, you can access our rodent control brochure through the city's website, or you can contact the City of Oak Park Code Enforcement and Animal Control Division at 248-691-7450. Health and safety. Keep in mind that our first priority must be health and safety. Please remember to take extra health precautions during flood cleanup, as recommended on the Michigan State Police's website. The record flooding on August 11th has left the city concerned with the cleanup and sanitation of the basements of vacant properties. While the sanitation is a major concern, it is not an immediate public health threat, while the properties at least remain vacant. Also, mold is not a public health threat if the structure remains vacant and does not become airborne. The record flooding on August 11th has left the city concerned with the cleanup and sanitation of the basements of vacant properties. While the sanitation is a major concern, it is not an immediate public health threat, while the properties remain vacant. Also, mold is not a public health threat if the structure remains vacant and does not become airborne. The following is the Technical and Planning Department's plan of action for addressing the cleanup and sanitation concerns. First, we're going to identify the vacant homes, and we think there are somewhere around 350 of them throughout the community. Second, we're going to send a letter requesting cleanup status, to schedule an inspection, and to declare the structure uninhabitable. Third, we're going to tag the properties uninhabitable, and last, we're going to deal with these properties by all means possible if all else fails. By the end of this week, I expect the letters to be mailed and to start the tagging process. The city will continue to provide regular updates. For further non-emergency related information, call the City of Oak Park at 248-691-7410. I want to thank you again for your patience and understanding as we have worked together to get through this flood.